Ba weep grogna weep ninny bong, my fellow addicts. This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, coming to you with yet another TFA review. And in this video review, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Transformers Studio Series number 21, Revenge of the Fallen, Voyager class, Starscream. So before we take a quick look at the figure itself, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the packaging in the new fashion, which I've been doing. So here's the front. Here's the side of the box showing off a very creepy CG render of Starscream. Here's the other side of the box showing off a full CG rendered bodied Starscream as well as the Transformers Authentic logo. And here's the back of the box with your brief bio, obligatory product shots, cross sales, and more. And here we have Studio Series ROTF Starscream in his vehicle mode. And as you can see, he is painted up to make himself look like his ROTF appearance with the nice Cybertronian hieroglyphs all throughout his jet form. You have a beautiful, nice, big black Decepticon insignia tampographed right there, as well as a little Cybertronian hieroglyph right there. I wonder if that's actually, like, you know, I don't know what that would mean, actually. If anyone knows, let me know, because I'm actually curious. But you have them all Cybertronian tattooed up. Have a nice, beautiful orange cockpit right here on the very front of the nose cone, which is very nice. And there really isn't much paint on him. I mean, again, he's just kind of like how he was in the first movie, except now he's just decked out in Cybertronian glyphs. On the underside, obviously, you have Visible Robot Syndrome. There are the arms, there are the legs. The head is like right there, if you can even see it, where those little slivets are. And you get the gist of how everything's going to work. This is kind of an upscale. It's not even kind of. It is an upscale of the Dark of the Moon / Hunt for the Decepticon Starscream mold, just somewhat more engineering into it. But that's all there is for the jet mode. So for some quick size comparisons, here is SS21 Starscream with SS06 Starscream. And because my review area is so small, this is as best as you're going to get, so I apologize for that, but there you have that, you have 2007, 2009, 2007 ROTF. Here he is next to the original ROTF Starscream. My favorite Starscream, actually. You can see a bit of a size difference. Pretty much. Almost relative. Actually, they're almost relatively the same size, so he's just a little skinnier because of the way he transforms and such. So there you go. Here he is with number 13 Megatron. And you can see how they look together. They look pretty good. In a nice side-by-side scale. So once again, obviously this isn't really accurate vehicle mode wise, but robot mode wise is where the scale really goes into play. So that's cool. There's that. Here he is next to the Voyager class ROTF SS05 Optimus Prime. I think that's pretty good for scale. Giant F-22 Raptor compared to a Peterbilt truck. Cab over. So there's that. And then here he is with the Dark of the Moon SS17 or 16 Ratchet. So there you go. There is that. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get Starscream, by the power of stop motion, from looking like this to revealing the Decepticon second-in-command within. And here we have Studio Series ROTF Starscream in his robot mode. And this is quite possibly one of the best looking Starscreams to date. I enjoy this mold, I enjoy the Starscream Studio Series figure for what it is. I have my preferences. I really like the original Revenge of the Fallen Starscream, and granted, that thing does have its own issues of its own. Let me try that again. It does have its own issues, it's still a pretty good figure nonetheless. But Revenge of the Fallen Starscream here for Studio Series is quite good too. The painting and the sculpting on this guy is lackluster, honestly. I mean, yeah, it has a lot of the Cybertronian decals on all over him, but he's still a bit kind of bland. But other than that, his head is actually really nicely painted. I really do like that head. You have a very nice tiny Decepticon insignia right there on his forehead. Looks very nice. Got some beautiful red optics picked out in some nice vibrant red paint. He does have that symbol underneath his wrong optic. It should actually be on the left side, but for some reason it's on the right, but I'm not going to complain too much. Does have some nice gold right here on the rim of his nose, as well as right here for the mouthpiece. You have some more of that gold right here on the upper shoulders, as well as in the abdomen section. You have it right there on the arms, and it really did go out all out with the detailing. Like, you see all the different pieces and components that form him. More of that manufactured kind of pearl-ish cream white plastic and that dark gray / black plastic. And then come down here to the shins, you have some more of that nice gold accented paint, as well as a nice tamper-graphed Cybertronian glyph right there on his thigh. That's very nice. Now, he does come with a weapon. If you guys, I mean, I'm pretty sure you all saw it whenever I was showing the vehicle mode. You saw it just kind of pegged in there. He does finally come with his buzzsaw blade. Granted, it's not silver. They're going for more of the Energon blade, which I kind of like. It's kind of cool, but I personally would have preferred a silver blade. But hey, customizers, guess what? The blade itself, don't make a fool out of me, thank you, is removable. It's just on a simple friction hinge, but be very careful because this is clear plastic and it is prone to breaking. But it can be removable, and you can paint it up, and you can just go ahead and pop it right back in. Now you're going to make a fool of me, aren't you? Aren't you? No, you're not. And nice satisfying snap. Now it does spin pretty freely. Like, yeah, it has a good bit of spinach. And it actually does connect into his arm fairly well. It's the same connection like SSO6 Starscream with his missile launcher. Basically what you want to do is you want to come here to the arm, rotate it upward, rotate the hand to the palm facing up where you see the slot, and then there's a peg. Rotate it at this hinge, connect the peg into the port, take the buzzsaw blade and install it upside down, and then go ahead and just rotate the arm this way. So now he has his buzzsaw blade. That looks really cool. Very, very nice. And you can even take Starscream's SSO6 weapon from his figure and pop it on him as well. He does not want to stand for me for some reason. So you can take his missile launcher. Again, just rotate the arm, rotate the hand, use that hinge, connect the peg to the port, rotate the arm at the shoulder, connect it, make sure the peg is facing down, and now he is armed to the teeth. So Starscream is ready to do some damage. That looks pretty cool. But I do appreciate the fact that the buzzsaw blade comes with ROTF Starscream, because that's when the weapon for that, for that movie appeared, and then he gave him the missile launcher for the '07 Starscream, which is when the weapon for that movie appeared. So now technically while I was going into range of motion with the transformation for his weapons, go ahead and go into articulation. The head is on a swivel. It can rotate 360 degrees, depending on if you move this piece out of the way or not. This piece right here where my finger is. But just move it out a little bit and he'll move. Can look it up that far, can look down that far. The shoulders are on a double hinge. So you have one right here that can rotate downward, more for transformation. Then you have a hinge right here. Arms are also on a rotational joint, can go forward and back, in and out. Swivel a little bit as well. Double elbow bend, so you have one right here, then you have one right here, so he has some very nice range of movement as well. And you already saw the wrist. This is more for transformation, but it is on a ball joint as well, so you can get some more movement out of that as well. Nothing at the waist, but at the hips, they can go forward, they can go back, can go in and out, and there is a butterfly hinge for transformation, but you can utilize that if you wish. He does have two different knees, so he has one for the jet afterburner, again for transformation, but the real knee is right here, because he has chicken legs, so he'll go backwards instead of forwards. And he can rotate his foot. Now for some reason on this foot it's loose, but on this one it can actually ratchet softly into place, in and out of place, so I don't know why, but just a minor defect on my copy, and then again I did get this a little early, so it's understandable. But do be careful whenever you get this guy, because your mileage may vary. So there's that. Now for some brief size comparisons, here he is with the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class Starscream, with his foot up for some reason. Put your foot down. So we'll just do something like this. I'll see if I can move the light just a little bit out of the way. So you have him with Revenge of the Fallen Starscream from 2009, and I really do prefer this design more than this one. This looks good, but I really prefer this one. That's just my personal preference. So there you go. Here he is with SS06 Starscream. So there you have that. They look pretty good together. You see the evolution of character. Here he is with SS13 Voyager class Megatron. If he wants to stand. Does kind of hunch over a bit too. And you can see the scale for them. Megatron's just a hair bit taller. So there is that. Here he is with SS05 Voyager class Optimus Prime. So there's that. And here he is with SS16 Deluxe class Dark of the Moon Ratchet. So there is that. And of course, like all Studio Series figures, he comes with an obligatory backdrop, specifically sporting the scene where he and Megatron and Grindor were facing off against Optimus Prime in the Forest Battle. So my overall thoughts on Revenge of the Fallen Starscream is he's a very good, fun figure. Granted, he's just a repaint of the original SS06 Starscream. That figure was a whole lot of fun. And the fact that we're now having an updated ROTF Starscream is all the more better. Granted, while the original ROTF Starscream did not really age too well, it is still one of my personal favorite figures because I just like the skinniness and the lengthiness of his design. I will say SS21 here does a really good job of putting that design to plastic. Not as good as the original, but just good enough to kind of scratch the itch. The painting and the sculpting and the molding on this figure is absolutely beautiful. I love everything about it. Paint could be a little bit more to it. It is a bit of a bland canvas, so customizers feel free to take up arms with your brushes and give this guy a little bit something more to pop. Now, at the moment of this recording, he is available, to my knowledge, at Hasbro Toy Shop for about $29.99 retail, and I'm not sure if he's available anywhere else yet. But if you want him, by all means, feel free to head on over to Hasbro Toy Shop and pick one up today. Because while he's not necessarily a necessity to your collection, he is a very fine, welcome addition to the Studio Series collection, as well as your Movieverse Decepticons. So pick him up if you want to, because I recommend, so you can decide. But that's pretty much all there is to say, my fellow addicts. So this has been the video review for the Transformers Studio Series number 21, Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class Starscream, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And please remember, my fellow addicts, until next time, to get addicted, stay addicted, and TF addicts for life! And stay tuned for the video reviews for Dropkick and KSI Century, because they just got accepted and they are on their way, so give it about 2 weeks. This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, rolling out! Till all are one. I did it. I finally caved. And in a way, I kinda don't regret it. See you next time!